I'm Ratman, and I have just gotten myself an enchanted diamond shovel. Because this episode we're going to be doing a lot of digging. Still planning to use the same route to get to my ice farm. So, because it provides a fairly direct route from spawn over here. So, still have a tunnel through the hill over here, and then do a cutting here. Over here is a bit interesting because it's sort of a big cave, but it doesn't quite go down into the water, so we'll still have to dig through here. And then we've got a nice long stretch over here, and then when the map loads, we have to dig through here, here, and here. And then this is the boat lock that we built a couple of episodes ago. So let's begin with digging through here. So we're at the boat lock, and our first obstacle is this little area over here. So I have to start digging. It's still pretty narrow, so when you're riding a boat, it's going to be a little bit awkward, so we'll have to try and widen it where it's feasible to do so. And it seems alright. Just a little bit of bumping off the box occasionally if you're not careful. Alrighty, so this is a little bit bigger, and the angle seems to change a bit here actually. So let's try to keep it at least a few meters wide. There we go. We need to figure out the best way to get through here. So the advantage of a tunnel is I wouldn't necessarily need to dig as much, and players would be somewhat protected from monsters, and I wouldn't have to alter the terrain as much. The big advantage with a cutting is that players would get more opportunity to see the terrain here, especially up there. And before you know it, you sort of can't see any of it. There are a lot of monsters in this area. I think it is most prudent to build a tunnel. So I have done some maths, and it seems that going from back where I was to over here requires a ratio of exactly 3 to 1. So that is pretty interesting. So I think I'll sort of make the tunnel 4 meters wide, so that when it changes over, that's still 3 meters. Tunnel's all full of water. Let's go for a test ride. Except for this part. Sunk the boat. And there we go. I think I might make these corner bits a little bit wider. We'll have to figure out how to move all that junk. And I'll have to move all of that junk. Actually, should be able to use a boat chest. If I can. No! Yeah, there we go. How's that for a solution? Anyways, back to the opening this up a smidge part. Yeah, I think that's a little easier to ride down. Right. Passing each other could still be a little awkward. Right, don't break the boat because that'll probably send everything everywhere. But do line all of this out. And there we go. And now for the final part. This tunnel over here. I verified that the 508 line is good, so that is what I will use. 3 or 4 meters. 3 meters should do, since this will be a straight tunnel. Ooh, iron! Ooh, lapis! Not used to being able to find lapis at this level. Oh, and we are through! Time to fill this all with water, I reckon. The iron's getting chased down the tunnel is a bit funny. I also swear that items fly a lot further in water than they used to. Actually, the water physics are a bit different in some versions to how they were in 1.12 and prior. And there we go. The ice farm is now linked. You can now get from spawn to the ice farm by boat. So, the most important part of that I have left to do is actually marking out the route itself. Normally most of the route's actually pretty close, so it shouldn't need all that many markers, but that will mean that, but I'll still need a fair few. Now, for the colour, I don't want something too bright because it might blend in with the ice a bit too much, and I don't want something too dark that will blend in with the water. And I of course don't want a cool colour because it will sort of blend in with both. So I think I'll go with orange as the colour for the route. I didn't know that bee nests could grow on trees that you've planted. Oh, hello! Hello! Well, I think I'll wait for the bees to go back in and I might harvest it and make a bit of a bee farm. The way the bees work is when they come out of their hive, they try to grab some flowers. And then once they've got some nectar from them, they come back, and when they fly over crops with some nectar, they can actually pollinate them, which makes them grow faster. So I think it'd be good to place the beehive right in the middle of the farm. And the beehive is in here. And the server will stop lagging. Boom. So let me get some wool from my sheep. Alrighty, I think I might go to Steepville. I'm not going to trust that piston, so I'll just wait for the server to stop lagging out. So I'll get some... I'll also need some torches, and in the ice section, 14, 13, 12, I think I'll get some soul torches actually. So how much soul sand do we have? Or is it soul soil? I'm not sure. Stop lagging! I don't have any. Alright, that is that, so I'll have to go off to the nether. I'm not going to trust it. I'll just go around. There's some soul sand over there. Let me see. You need soul sand, so this is good. Let me get some wood. There we go. I think I'll do this tomorrow. Server's too laggy at the moment. You might notice that I've set my render distance to 2. The idea is so that I can ensure that everyone can see the markers when following the route. So I'll back up, and so once that's actually, since this is a branch, I think I'll keep this one a little bit closer. So when building in water, one trick you can use is you can place a lily pad on the water, and then whatever you need on the bottom of that. And there we go, a boy. Hi, doll. Back away. I think I'll keep this one close as well, because you're still changing directions. So I think we're heading more that way actually. That's the disadvantage of a short render distance, is you can't always... Yeah, we're supposed to be heading sort of that way. But yeah, that's the thing with a short render distance, is you can't see very far ahead of you. You know what, I forgot to make some signs so I can label my tunnels. I'm using birch signs because they're the easiest to... Ow! They are the easiest to read, as I was about to say before the stinking zombie fell down on me. I finished the boat route, and I've also added a sign here indicating which way you need to go. Now, for this way, they're both quite diagonal, so I've used little arrow characters pasted from my character map. And one thing I noticed is, I think this one actually gets rendered the wrong way around. This particular character should be pointing that way, but instead it points that way. So, yeah. Had to use the wrong character there. I've also added little signs for my tunnels and cuttings. And in those tunnels and cuttings, I've decided not to place any markers inside of them because they're very narrow, so it should be very obvious which way you need to go. So in this area the valley is quite narrow, so I haven't placed the markers as often as I otherwise would because it isn't really necessary. Glitch. So we're at the block, and I think that this marker in particular is a bit out of place, so I think I'll move it over a few blocks. Another tunnel, again, no markers inside of it, and the tunnel, the route, I consider the orange route to technically go off in this way, even though I haven't extended it that way yet. So I've used white markers for going to my ice farm. I'll probably build a dock and footpath around later as part of the decoration, but for now you can reach the ice farm by boat. I have started to terraform this area a little bit so that it looks just a little bit smoother and not like I've just cut it out. I've done some more terraforming of this area, so this looks a lot better than it did before. That is for certain. Oh, I forgot to remove some of the sand here. There we go. Over here I've made a little sort of archway, and you might notice there's a bit of dirt down there. The idea to being that part of the arch has collapsed into this riverbed. I've also terraformed this cutting over here, so there we go. Bye.